It's time to talk oil, gas, and energy in the Permian Basin with your host, Mickey Cargile. Join us for insightful conversations on market trends, industry innovations, and what it means for your investments. Stay informed and ahead in the energy world with Mickey Cargile leading the way.
I'm Mickey Cargile. Thank you for joining us today on the very first episode of Oil, Gas, and Energy. Today we welcome a guest from Chevron. Chevron is celebrating 100 years of operating in the Permian Basin. Catie Matthews is the Public Government and Affairs Advisor to Chevron, and we welcome her today and look forward to that discussion. But first, let's take a look at what the first 100 years looks like for Chevron.
While the country was roaring in the 1920s, the oil and gas industry was embarking upon an endeavor that would influence the way people live, inspire innovation, and positively impact the outcome of major world events. In 1925, Chevron began production at the Levers Lease in Eddy County, New Mexico, and through its legacy company Gulf, was the first major oil company to establish offices in Midland, Texas. When the world faced a crisis during World War II, Midland and the entire Permian Basin stepped up. Higher octane fuel was needed to improve the Allies' fight in the skies. Chevron and other energy companies began ramping up production to fuel modern military aircraft of the time. The Permian Basin was responsible for nearly 1/4 of worldwide oil and gas production during the war, with the Standard Oil Company of California, now Chevron, producing more than 1 billion gallons of 100-octane aviation fuel. Throughout the decades that followed, technological advances that happened right here in Midland and the Permian Basin began to develop the region into what it is today, the #1 oil-producing region in the U.S. In the 1970s, Chevron, through its legacy companies Texaco and Gulf, broke multiple records for the deepest wells drilled, and in the 1990s was recognized as the leader in horizontal drilling, an industry technique that would help catapult the Permian Basin onto the world stage once again. Energy demand is greater than ever and will continue to grow. The Permian Basin will continue to play a big role in meeting that demand and is on track to produce 7 million barrels of oil per day by 2028. Chevron is averaging more than 1 million barrels per day in the Permian Basin as part of our mission to bring reliable, affordable, ever cleaner energy to people around the world. The oil and gas industry has helped launch rockets into space, bring energy to developing countries, provide millions of well-paying jobs, and supply the products needed for advancements in healthcare. Chevron is proud to celebrate 100 years of production in the Permian Basin, and we couldn't have done it without the support of our employees and the community around us. Here's to another 100 years.
Welcome, Catie. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
So 100 years of operating in the Permian. The Permian Basin was 4 years old when Chevron started. So what's that? What's the legacy of Chevron?
100 years is a long time, and we're really, really excited about our legacy here in the Permian Basin. So it's 2025 now, and we were here before 1925, but the date we can pinpoint is sometime in September 1925 in Eddy County, New Mexico, is where we hit our first production of oil and gas. And the legacy since then has been tremendous. The growth, our legacy companies, our company today, our people, our best asset always. It's been a really exciting year to celebrate this legacy, and it's something very special.
Well, it's an amazing achievement. You think that in 1925, oil was measured in hundreds of barrels, and today Chevron's production is how much?
This year, we hit a very significant milestone. We average 1 million BOE per operating day.
That's amazing. Of the 6.6 million produced currently in the Permian Basin, Chevron is 15% of that total. So, the contribution to the community is amazing.
Yes. And, when I look at it, I'm not the SME. I work as Public and Government Affairs Advisor. And so I like to think that I have a really good objective opinion to step back and look at what our employees and the people I work with on a daily basis are doing. And I am just in awe of them. The accomplishments, the milestones they hit, what they're able to do with safety as a priority always, working with integrity, supporting each other. We have a tremendous workforce, and I'm really proud to be a part of it.
Well, the title of your job is really eye-opening. So you're the Public and Government Affairs Advisor. Tell us a little bit about your job, what you do.
As a public and government affairs advisor, I'm part of a team. There's a few of us. And we work together to, I mean, simply put, our job is to preserve the right to operate. So, what does that mean? We work with all stakeholders in the community. We live and work in these communities. We want to make sure we're doing things the right way. And we want to make sure that we'll continue doing them going into the future, investing in them. And so, our job is really to support our workforce, support our community, and make sure that we can be there to help them do the job our workforce is doing, bringing affordable, reliable, and clean energy to ever cleaner energy to the world.
Well, we've known you for a long time. We know that you're very good at your job. What's your background?
Oh, my background. So I'm not, well, I hate to admit this right here, but I'm not a natural Texan. I come from the Northeast. I grew up, my dad worked on Wall Street. My brother still works on Wall Street. I actually started in the pharmaceutical industry doing public and government affairs in New York. And I came here 10 years ago for my husband. Could I bore you with a personal story?
Please.
So I was visiting a friend who moved here for business, and um, I was supposed to go home. I had visited her for a couple of days, and I was supposed to leave, and a dust storm came in. I'm from the Northeast. I had never seen a dust storm before. Rolled in, canceled the flight. I met my husband, Jason, on that extra night I was here in the Permian Basin. And I'm thrilled to be here. And when I was here, I worked remotely for 3 years, but then Chevron came knocking on my door, and it's been a dream career, job of a lifetime. And I'm so thrilled to be at Chevron.
Well, great. You got here as fast as you could, so that's what matters.
I've heard that a lot.
Well, Catie, everywhere I go, I see Chevron. If I go to a swim meet, any charitable event I go to, I see Chevron as if not the title sponsor, the sponsor. You support so many local events. Tell me about the amount of money that Chevron actually invests in the community, and what projects are important to you.
Absolutely. Like I said, we live and work in the Permian Basin, and supporting the community is so important to us. Over the past 5 years, we have invested more than $27 million into the Permian Basin communities. And last year, we had 13,000 volunteer hours. Now, I don't recall off the top of my head, but a national association has a figure for what what value that time is in volunteer hours, and it's quite significant. So when you add all of that up, what our employees contribute as well, it's pretty impactful, and we're real proud of it.
Well, and you should be. I mean, we couldn't operate our charities without support like Chevron provides. Um, Whenever you look going forward, we see the oil prices go up and down, profits go up and down for companies. Do you expect Chevron to stay in our area and continue to contribute?
Oh, well, Chevron plans to be here for the foreseeable future, and as long as we're here, we'll support our community.
Well, that's amazing. It's so important, not only to your employees, but to all of us that live in the community. So, I thank you for all of that. Um, I noticed that you are the title sponsor of Air Show this past year. That's a big investment and very important to the community.
I'm really particularly excited to talk about Air Show with you today because it relates so much to that history piece. So this was our 4th year sponsoring Air Show. The first year, well, it was really the second year that we sponsored it, where we had the time to really dig in. Air Show celebrates the history of aviation, the history of the wars, the history of the Permian Basin, and what we've contributed to those years and those war efforts. And I really wanted to dig in and find out, what impact did we make? And the stuff I learned has just made the Air Show sponsorship so special. To give you an example, many historians will say the reason that the Allies won the war was because of the air war. And the Permian Basin played such a vital role in that. During World War II, if I'm not mistaken, we supplied the Permian Basin, almost a quarter of the oil and gas supply. Not only that, the Allies needed that higher octane fuel to win that air war, and a lot of that came from right here in the Permian. I know through the Standard Oil Company of California, today is Chevron, they supplied 1 billion gallons of 100 octane fuel during World War II. I mean, the stats, the history, many could probably make a case that World War II cannot be won without the Permian Basin. I don't know that I can state that absolutely, but I'm sure somebody could.
Well, Catie, we're going to take a short break, and we'll be back with Catie in just a few minutes.
Great.
Since 2004, TX Industrial Automation Services has been the backbone of your business, delivering top quality products and unmatched customer service. We keep our promises, on-time delivery, the best brands like Rexa, Worcester Controls, and Automax, and a commitment to excellence. Visit our website or call the number on your screen. Make us your #1 source for valve automation. We don't just meet expectations, we surpass them. TX Industrial Automation Services, where quality meets commitment.
Golf Headquarters Midland, staffed by real players with decades of experience. Get expert fittings, same-day repairs, and lessons from former pros. Recognized by Golf Digest as a top 100 club fitter. Learn more at ghqmidland.com.
And we're back with Catie Matthews from Chevron. So 100 years of operating in the Permian, there must be many significant milestones for Chevron.
You think about the war effort, and then in the 70s, I know through our legacy companies, Texaco and Gulf, we achieved some records for deepest drilled wells. And, just looking back on the past 100 years, and you just think about the industry as a whole, supporting the war effort, helping send the spaceships into space, helping, developing countries bring energy security online, helping hospitals, supply their hospital rooms with the materials they need to provide health to their patients. It's just, looking back, it's just a really great legacy that I'm real proud to be a part of.
And what is Chevron doing to celebrate the 100-year anniversary?
It has been a lot of fun this year. So we started the year, our employees built 100 bikes that they distributed to children in need across the Permian Basin. And on April 10th, which was the 100th day of the year, let me see if I can get all these numbers straight, we distributed 100 $100 gift cards to unsuspecting neighbors across the Permian Basin. We went to on Big Spring, we have that Standard Oil station. We went to Standard Oil, we went to a Texaco, and we went to a Chevron station. That day was a lot of fun. You just heard things like, man, I really needed this today, and you were happy to help them. Or you heard things like, I never win, I'm so happy to be a winner. And one of the coolest parts about that day is it went viral. All of a sudden, people were coming up to us saying, hey, we heard Chevron's giving out gas cards today. Where are you going to be next? And we weren't ready for that, but we were so thrilled to make so many people happy. There are two more things. So recently, just the other day, or a couple weeks ago, I had the amazing privilege to interview two centenarians over at Manor Park. you think about the milestones that were achieved. You think about these, what we've done in the war effort, these milestones we've hit. But what is more fascinating than the perspectives of the people who lived them? And talking to these two women at Manor Park was, oh man, it was unbelievable. And we're going to have a feature article published on PermianProud.com in the coming weeks where everybody can read about their experiences. And I know that everybody is going to be as excited and enthralled as I was learning about their life experiences. And we are doing one more fun thing. Students across the Permian Basin are going to be invited in a couple of weeks to depict what they think the Permian Basin will look like in 100 years. So we look forward to seeing what the future holds as described by our students across the region.
Well, I think that gives us a good segue to look at what does Chevron look like 100 years from now?
Oh goodness, I don't know if I'm the right person to talk about that, but I can tell you what I do know. I do know that we have a company that's rich on doing things the right way, the safe way. We have a tremendous workforce, people who I enjoy getting up every day to go work with. They are incredibly hardworking, good people. They care about the communities they work in. So I do know that Chevron will be here in the Permian Basin for the foreseeable future. And I know that our workforce is going to continue to shine not only in the workplace, but in the communities where we live and work.
Well, we all benefit from Chevron being here, so it's greatly appreciated. We talked a little bit off camera about some additional community service things that the company's doing. I'd like to hear a little more about that.
We have some upcoming things we're real excited about. Over a little bit out west, west of the Pecos Museum, we've helped with a donation to help them revitalize their oil and gas exhibit. That's going to be opening October 27th. We're real excited about that. There's just a lot of fun things going on. And we also have our community sponsorships. We're there supporting the Rockhounds, the Jackalopes. We're just real excited to be able to have the opportunity to give back to these community partners, to be at the places where the community is, Friday night lights. Chevron's just really excited to be a part of that, and we're happy to be a part of that.
And I understand there's a little competition between the hockey teams.
Oh, this is a fun one every year with the Jackalopes and the New Mexico Ice Wolves. So we have operations both in Texas and New Mexico. And 2 years ago, we started a fun wager when the New Mexico Ice Wolves and the Odessa Jackalopes face each other. The winning team gets to pick the charity of choice. And of course, the other charity gets a conciliatory prize. We wouldn't let them go empty-handed.
Well, Catie, this has been wonderful. Thank you for joining us. And we look forward to talking to you again.
Thank you so much for having me. This has been a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed the conversation.
Great, thank you. And we'll be right back.
Insignia Hospitality Group is proud to serve the Permian Basin's vital oil and gas workforce with top hotel brands in Midland and Odessa, including Holiday Inn Express, Holiday Inn, Fairfield Inn and Suites, Town Place Suites, and Spring Hill Suites. Locally operated and community-focused, Insignia stands behind the people fueling West Texas. As a proud sponsor of National Petroleum Day, they're committed to supporting growth across the region. Learn more at insigniamgmt.com.
Buying, selling, or investing, real estate is a major life decision. The agency, Carrie Payne James Real Estate Team, delivers heart, strategy, and over 100 years of combined experience. Every detail, from expert staging to professional photography, is handled with care. Led by the trusted and compassionate Carrie Payne James, this top-producing Midland team is known for making real estate seamless, rewarding, and even enjoyable. Learn more at the agency kpj.com.
Don't miss the Oil, Gas, and Energy Show, airing every Saturday at 5 p.m. on First Alert 7. Mickey Cargile brings you face-to-face with leading oil and gas CEOs to talk about market trends and your money. From exploration and production to renewables and sustainability, plus the latest on policies and regulations. This show powers your knowledge of the energy sector. Stay informed and ahead. Tune in every Saturday for the Oil, Gas, and Energy Show.
And we're back with Oil, Gas, and Energy. We've always had this dichotomy with employees in the Permian Basin where we have extremely young people and extremely old people, and very few people in the middle. But our average workforce is 31. So we have a lot of young people in the area. And joining us today and joining us every week will be Charlie Stewart. Welcome, Charlie.
Thank you. Like Mickey said, I graduated from Texas Tech with a degree in finance. I'm currently pursuing my master's in finance, and I work in oil and gas. It's been a journey, and I'm excited to share what I've learned and keep learning on this show.
So young people are talking to you about their different questions on finance because that's the area of your study. Tell me, what are they asking?
We all have so many questions whenever it comes to financial stability and managing our careers. For Ask Charlie today, there's so many questions on retiring early. Is that a good idea? Whenever we say retiring early, we mean, early 30s, 40s, sometimes even 50s. Is that practical? Is there a way that we can do that? Is it stable?
Charlie, that's an amazing question. And whenever you look at my age and looking back, I'll tell you that your generation didn't invent the concept of retiring early. That's what we all wanted. It's much more difficult today because of the debt loads that people had out of college. Student loan debts are now $1.6 trillion. On top of that, there's many other debts that are out there. So you have to really overcome that and be a good steward of your money. The number one thing is you have to budget. You have to spend less than you make and save the money that you don't spend. Invest it wisely. The best advice I could give you or anyone else is make sure and take 10% of your earnings and put it in your 401k or into a retirement plan of some type, and don't touch it ever. Just let it grow. Invest it in a good index fund, and as you get older, you'll see that number grow to enough where you can at some point have financial independence.
And whenever it comes to you being in career, and a lot of companies do set up a 401k for you, do the percentages of that they offer, does that make a big difference whether you were just to be doing it on your own?
Well, the 401k is the best way to do it if you're working for an employer. If you end up being self-employed, well, then it's a different question. So it is something that is specific to each individual. But whenever you look at the opportunity to put money away, to get a tax break on it, for it to be tax deferred, then you have a chance for that money to not only grow, but the money you would have paid in taxes gets to grow as well. And so if you want to retire with a big bucket of money, you have to save money in a tax advantaged way. And the 401k is the best way to do it. Charlie, thank you for joining us. We look forward to having you on future segments. I'll be back with my final thoughts.
Be the first to know what's coming for National Petroleum Day 2026. From headline speakers to exclusive sponsorships, the Oil, Gas, and Energy Directory, special events, and behind-the-scenes access. Don't miss a beat. Join our mailing list today and stay connected to the people, the power, and the progress driving the Permian. We'll see you at National Petroleum Day 2026.
The Young Women's Leadership Academy is a Midland ISD school of choice focusing on college preparatory academics, leadership development through community service, and health and wellness. Learn more now.
National Petroleum Day 2026 is right around the corner, the Permian Basin's premier energy celebration. This year's theme is Landmen, honoring the vital role landmen play in oil and gas.
Looking for your perfect home in Midland? The agency's Carie Payne James real estate team delivers unmatched service, deep market knowledge, and genuine passion. Licensed since 2008, lifelong Midlander, Carie blends 15-plus years of expertise in buyer representation, investments, and corporate relocations. Call 432-683-1000 or email Carie at theagencykpj.com today.
While the country was roaring in the 1920s, the oil and gas industry was embarking upon an endeavor that would influence the way people live, inspire innovation, and positively impact the outcome of major world events. In 1925, Chevron began production at the Levers Lease in Eddy County, New Mexico, and through its legacy company Gulf, was the first major oil company to establish offices in Midland, Texas. When the world faced a crisis during World War II, Midland and the entire Permian Basin stepped up. Higher octane fuel was needed to improve the Allies' fight in the skies. Chevron and other energy companies began ramping up production to fuel modern military aircraft of the time. The Permian Basin was responsible for nearly 1/4 of worldwide oil and gas production during the war, with the Standard Oil Company of California, now Chevron, producing more than 1 billion gallons of 100-octane aviation fuel. Throughout the decades that followed, technological advances that happened right here in Midland and the Permian Basin began to develop the region into what it is today, the #1 oil-producing region in the U.S. In the 1970s, Chevron, through its legacy companies Texaco and Gulf, broke multiple records for the deepest wells drilled, and in the 1990s was recognized as the leader in horizontal drilling, an industry technique that would help catapult the Permian Basin onto the world stage once again. Energy demand is greater than ever and will continue to grow. The Permian Basin will continue to play a big role in meeting that demand and is on track to produce 7 million barrels of oil per day by 2028. Chevron is averaging more than 1 million barrels per day in the Permian Basin as part of our mission to bring reliable, affordable, ever cleaner energy to people around the world. The oil and gas industry has helped launch rockets into space, bring energy to developing countries, provide millions of well-paying jobs, and supply the products needed for advancements in healthcare. Chevron is proud to celebrate 100 years of production in the Permian Basin, and we couldn't have done it without the support of our employees and the community around us. Here's to another 100 years.
As we wrap up today's program, I think we need to step back and take a look at the bigger picture of what Chevron really means to our community. All of the major oil players out here employ a large amount of people, but they also invest huge amounts of capital. Chevron's budget for this year is estimated to be about $5 billion. Well, it's not just that $5 billion that impacts the community. As they make payments to different vendors, that money turns over again. So it's really about 2.5 times the investment itself that really affects our community. So that $5 billion invested is really $12.5 billion of economic impact on our community. That's one oil company. And as you look at the importance of all the oil companies and the huge amounts that they invest in our communities, not only in capital investment, but also supporting the local charities and the different events that take place, it's just wonderful to be here and to have such responsible partners in our community. Please tune in again with Oil, Gas, and Energy.
Thanks for watching Oil, Gas, and Energy. After today's episode, we won't be back until the top of the year, as we make way for all your favorite NFL and college football. But when we return, we'll bring you more conversations, insights, and updates from across the Permian Basin's oil, gas, and energy sector. In the meantime, keep it right here on First Alert 7.